My childish childs. This is it, Salamangreat combo video. Yes, a lot of people were really excited. Mirage Talio is back. The card is insane. I mean, it got banned, and then people were still playing the deck because there were not a lot of other options. So the deck was still kind of good for its competition, but now that there are a lot of really powerful decks, Mirage Talio is kind of needed in order to compete. So are we back to having Salamangreat at full power? Is the deck just as good as other decks? Well, this is for you to find out and for me to figure out. Actually, I don't know how the expression works, but yeah. Anyways, before you start, friendly reminder to smash the living pancake out of this like button because yeah, it makes me happy. You already know the drill. I mean, do you really think it makes me sad when I look, you understand. Anyways, combo number one. This is a pretty simple one. It's just a going second combo. Lady Debug is a one card OTK and it pops a lot of cards. So yeah, this is what you can do with just one single card. So you're going to search for Gazelle, obviously. No, I'm gonna search for Spinny. And yeah, you're gonna make the Veilings. You literally have to relink it if you want to trigger the effect of Gazelle, because otherwise you're not going to have like a Salamangreat that hits the graveyard. And yeah, now you can send for the Jaguar. In theory, you can also send the Spinny. It's just the Spinny is a worse resource to have to send to the graveyard because we're not trying to make Mirage Talio right now. We're trying to OTK our opponent. And the reason why Mirage Talio wouldn't be good is because it locks us under using the effect of fire attribute monsters only for the rest of the turn, which kind of is unfortunate. Now, by making Jaguar, we don't get the card banished. We have to, we still keep it in the graveyard. So that's why Jaguar is kind of a better card than Spinny in a way. Not only because it recycles back resources from your graveyard to your extra deck, so you can keep on using the same Sunlight Wolves, but also the card just always is an extender in the grave. Whereas Spinny, unless you're using for Xyz material, it gets banished, so it's a one-time use, if you can understand what I'm trying to say. Anyways, this transcode can make 2 attacks, but whatever, we're going to revive back the update jammer, and we're going to make an access code. So this access code has 5300 attack, and can attack twice, and pop 3 cards, if I recall correctly. Earth, Wind, Fire. So you get 1 pop for each attribute in your grave, and you can only use 1 kind of attribute popping per turn. So in other words, you can go until, I think, 7 attributes? No, 6. Yeah, there's not a divine attribute link monster yet, but yeah. Pretty Happy Land City. Let's get into combo number 2. Alright, now we're moving on into the going first combos, which are pretty good and nothing new, to be honest. Yeah, it's just in case you kind of forgot what the deck could do. Debug plus pretty much any extender that is like a level 3, well, I mean, Spinny, Gazelle, stuff like that. There are a lot of ways to get there, though, so it doesn't necessarily have to be that. You can have Spinny, Gazelle, and it basically does the same thing. If anything, it's a bit better, because you actually dodge Joel and Logbird that way. So, yeah, and you're going to make the Mirage Talio with the 2 level 3s, and then you're going to revive back the Jaguar, make the Sunlight Wolf, and obviously you can relink it, recycle back the Rage or the Roar, any card you want to send. Technically, you can even send the Whale and then revive back multiple monsters, make a big Appaloosa. It's just that you don't really need to do that. And also, the Appaloosa is kind of like an illusion because you think that you're going to be able to kind of like negate a lot of things, but not really, because if you get Nibiru, you still can't negate that same turn since you are locked under Fire Attribute for the rest of the turn, like I said, with Mirage Talio. So make sure that when you do use the effect of Mirage Talio, the only effects that you really want to use anyways are Salamangrates. But yeah, that's pretty much it for combo number 2. Let's get into the next one. This is one of my personal favorite, and you don't necessarily need like a really good hand in order to pull this one off, but a lot of people, when they see Artifact Scythe in their hand, they automatically assume that it's a bad card to draw and that you can't really do anything. So with a hand like this, maybe you can't do anything with that Artifact Scythe and you just have to get the Salamangreat Roar as kind of like a negation, kind of maybe because it would be better. But I completely disagree. There is such a good play that you can do right now. Mirage Talio is going to summon the Gazelle from the deck and send the Rage. I want to say the majority of the time Rage is actually better than Roar, and a lot of people can agree with me. Roar is good when you're trying to protect floodgates. For example, on game 3 or game 2, whatever, when you're going first and you have like anti-spell fragrance, you're not trying to send a Rage. That would be kind of that would be way too much. You're trying to send a Roar because if your opponent has the Cosmic or Twin Twister, you can negate it, and then your opponent is truly under anti-spell, and then you can always recycle back the Roar, so your opponent can never really out it, which is really nice. But yeah, now we can make Sunlight Wolf and recycle back the Roar, and finally set 2 back row, and during our opponent's turn, really cool thing, this is like 2-in-1, you can send Salamangreat Mirage Talio in order to pop your own card, because in theory, the Sunlight Wolf, you can target it and destroy 2 cards cards your opponent control without targeting. But if you want to destroy a card that you control, this time you're using the other effect of rage, by sending, I believe, a Salamangreat from your hand or field face up to the graveyard in order to destroy one card anywhere on the field, which can include you, and this time it does target. So yeah, we're destroying our own artifact scythe, and we're summoning it on the column of Sunlight Wolf in order to recycle back the Gazelle. Really, really cool. And yeah, it's just Happy Land City because your opponent is under the artifact Scythe lock, and you have your Gazelle follow up. You can recycle back the Rage next turn, and you can just always amass so much advantage that there's no way you're losing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this combo. Let's get into the next one. Alright, this one is really explosive, and a lot of people might, again, not really understand what I am trying to achieve with this, because there are a lot of cards that you don't necessarily need to draw here. It's just, with an average opening hand of like 5 cards, look at how quickly you can amass card advantage, especially with ridiculous cards like Flame Buffalo. It's nasty. This card honestly is... I think it's never been better because it is a level 3, it's a Cyberus, it's a fire, you can recycle it back with Sunlight Wolf, sending Spinny and Jaguar is like Happy Land City, and then drawing Gazelle off of Buffalo is like, whoa, okay, you're good at the game, but yeah, just look at this, man. Parallel Exceed, Chainlink 3, Chainlink 2 Veilings, Chainlink 1 Buffalo, send the Jaguar, draw 2 traps because I'm good at the game, right? I am good. And then yeah, make Sunlight Wolf, get back the Jaguar, recycle back the Buffalo, because we didn't have Gazelle access, and this is the message that I'm trying to show. You don't necessarily need to draw Gazelle every single time in order to achieve something, and you don't also necessarily need to have access to Mirage Stallion necessarily. Just with Parallel Exceed and some other plays, you can some other cards, you can still do some really nice plays. Alright, now we're gonna make Abyss Dweller and set 3 because we never needed to use that Sanctuary since we didn't have Gazelle access, so we never really needed to reeling the Sunlight Wolf. And one of the traps that I set is Multiple Destruction. If you started playing this game really late, you might not know what it does, but I'm going to read out the effect for you. If both players have 3 or more cards in their hand, each player places their entire hand on the bottom of the deck, and also you lose life points equal to the total number of cards returned to the deck by this effect, multiplied by 300, minimum 1, then each player draws 5 cards. You can only activate 1 multiple destruction per turn. The reason why this is so good is because you go from 3 cards to 5 cards, and your opponent goes from 6 cards to 5 cards. So he's going -1 as soon as he starts his turn, and you're going +1, since with 4 cards, you're going to end with 5 cards. But the Sanctuary is basically a free card anyways, and one of the Buffaloes was also free. So in other words, we're only getting rid of 1 card, really, and then we're getting a lot, well, 2 cards, the Multiple Destruction and the other random card, and we're getting 5 in return, which is really, really nice. So you're going to see this, man, on standby phase, or a draw phase, whatever, Dweller, if our opponent has, like, Forbidden Drop or Chalice or something, we can also chain the Salamangreat Rage by tributing or sending the Sunlight Wolf in order to send our own Abyss Dweller. So you can do that, or you can just protect with Salamangreat War. It doesn't really change anything. But yeah, Multiple Destruction, look at this, man. We can make our opponent brick as well, which is really nice. And now we have 5 in hand. We can draw into hand shops during our opponent's turn. We can get rid of the useless Sanctuary that we can easily search anyways. So it doesn't change anything. And we have just so many resources on our opponent. It's crazy. He has 5 cards to our 9. How is he doing anything? Probably not doing jack, honestly, but yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Let's go into the final combo. Salamangreat is really, really good at playing through hand traps, and you're gonna see this right now. I'm gonna get drooled, so I can't even search that Salamangreat Sanctuary, but it's not a big deal. Our opponent has Nibiru, but we can make Rafflesia on summon number 5, so it's also not a big deal. Parallel Exceed should be in your deck list, I think as a 2 of. You don't necessarily need to play 3, because you can only really resolve the effect once per duel anyways, honestly. But yeah, now Gazelle is going to trigger because of the Spinny. You're gonna make Mirage Stallion, and then make the Sunlight Wolf, recycle back, well, a resource with the Jaguar, so Gazelle, and then Sunlight Wolf recycle back the Rage because we were able to relink it without the Sanctuary, so by using Sunlight Wolf and another Salamangreat. And look at this, man, through 2 hand traps, we are able to end on basically 2 interruptions, the Roar and the Rafflesia, which could send maybe another Gravedigger's Hole, or a Bottomless, or a Floodgate, well, Floodgate Trap Hole, not like an anti-speller in the summon limit. That would be a little too good, I might call a judge on you, but yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my Salamangreat combo video. Please, if you could actually smash the subscribe and like button, that'll help me out so much. If we can get this video to as many likes as possible, let's say 800 or more, I'm going to make the deck profile really soon. So yeah, thank you so much for everything, and I will see you next time. Peace.